Starting us off at number 10, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift posts regularly to her Instagram, so it's no surprise that her fans are always in the loop with what she's up to. Back in 2015, Taylor snapped a picture of her on a boat with friends from girl group Hyam. Their bathing suit candid was almost insta-ready, but Taylor decided to do a little tweaking to the photo. Not that she needs to, and maybe she shouldn't have. I'm guessing she was trying to enhance some curves or something because the final image came out looking a little wonky. In the image you can see the railing of the boat is looking kinda wavy, and I don't think that's how the boat was originally designed. Taylor fell victim to one of the most common mistakes in editing, and now it's on the internet forever. And at number 9, Britney Spears. Britney has had some Photoshop mishaps in the past. Even though she looks amazing, Britney has been seen editing the sides of her waist on a few occasions. Once in this bathroom selfie, and again poolside. Her edits aren't that bad. I mean, they're noticeable, but not as much as others on this list. But one of her pictures stands out to me as a total fail. This picture of Britney on stage with abs drawn on is almost comical. Some people think that her ab contour is just makeup, but I'm not so sure about that. If you really look at the picture, the lines are way too crisp and straight for them to just be makeup. You wouldn't be able to see the contour that well from where the picture was taken, so I'm guessing that Britney drew the checkered pattern onto her stomach in post. But you be the judge. At number 8, Justin Bieber. Do you guys remember Justin's Calvin Klein ad back in 2015? Because I sure do. My friends were all thirsting over him and his muscles. But I also remember when we found out that they photoshopped a lot of the image. In the side-by-side comparison of the before and after Photoshop images, you can see that whoever edited the photo beefed Biebs up a little bit and made his, you know, a little bigger. I mean, the ad is still a thirst trap and people were still gushing about him, but those edits made quite a difference. He went from looking like someone from my high school to looking like that hot guy in your college lectures who all the girls stare at when he walked into the room, you know? Big difference. At number 7, Kim Kardashian. Guys, she's back. This time with a sequel to Dude, Where's My Car? We're going to talk about this Photoshop fail I like to call Dude, Where's My Arm? In this 2014 photo, Kim was caught missing her right arm as she posed next to best friend Jonathan Chebin. Kim was suspected of editing her curves again, probably by cutting out the image around her waist and shaping her body. Turns out that when she cut some stuff out, she amputated a limb in the process. At first I thought, oh, maybe her arm's just behind Jonathan, but nope, it's just gone, just like that car in the last Kim K photo disaster we covered last time. Coming in at number 6, Kourtney Kardashian. I have a lot of questions about this picture. It scares me a little. First of all, what's going on with her face? See, I'm not convinced that this is even Kourt's real body. Don't get me wrong, she always looks great, but in this picture, I think they took another picture of a model in a tub and just added Kourt's face onto it. It just looks too detached from the rest of her body and kinda disproportionate. Like her head is a little too big for her body there. My other question is, what happened to her leg? Did it just fall off and start floating around in the tub? Cause that thing is not attached to Kourtney's body at all. I mean, look at it. Her knee is way too far down to be normal, and it just disappears at the contact point of her leg and her other knee. Where did your leg go, Kourt? This has to be up there with one of the worst Photoshop jobs ever. Halfway through at number 5, Kris Jenner. Keeping up with the Kardashians here, we're going to bring Mama Kris Jenner into this. In a post back in 2014, Kris Jenner and chef Gordon Ramsay were spotted together promoting Kris's cookbook. Being the celebrities that they are, they posted their pictures together on their Instagrams. Except Kris's image looked a little bit off compared to Gordon's. Gordon's picture has like no editing done to it, maybe a little brightening, but that's about it. But Kris's picture, well, that's a different story. She was caught smoothing the crap out of both of their faces to the point where they don't look human anymore. The smoothing done to their faces isn't nearly as bad as John Mayer's editing job, but they still look like creepy wax figures. Kris has had her share of Photoshop mishaps, but this must have been quite a shock to Gordon to see himself like that online. He almost looks approachable in this picture. In at number 4, Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day isn't fooling anyone with her edits, I'm just gonna put that out there. At first when I saw some of her edited pictures, I was like, okay, she edits her waist just like everyone else. Like, it's a dramatic change, but let me tell you, when I saw these other pictures, my jaw dropped. What happened to her face? She looks like an alien. She's looking straight out of Mars with these pictures, and we know this isn't what she looks like in real life. These pictures are a bad combination of surgery and too much Photoshop. Aubrey is so beautiful, and these pictures just aren't doing her justice. These edits make her features look so sunken in, and it's a little zombie-ish. Not too long ago, Aubrey was scrutinized for her appearance and how she looked in public. The images that the tabloids took of her were altered to make her look bad, and these Instagram posts aren't making her look much better. Aubrey, you're beautiful. Don't do this to yourself. In at number 3, Phaedra Parks. Phaedra Parks is so freaking gorgeous and her Instagram is killer. But in a post from back in 2014, she wasn't exactly killing the Photoshop game. In a picture taken alongside rapper Nicki Minaj, fans were shocked to see such a big editing mistake. In the image, there was apparent evidence of altering to Phaedra's waist. I'm pretty sure she used like that pinch tool to bring her waist in, but it also warped, stretched, and blurred the image in the area that it was edited. This mistake reminds me of the Lindsay Lohan incident where she edited her butt and the door frame was like warped. Like, how did you miss this when you posted it? It's staring you right in the face. You can't tell me you didn't see this before posting it. There's no way. And at 2, Tupi Saravia. This one is by far my favorite because of how sneaky and clever it is. Imagine you're out having a picnic on the beach and you get a candid photo and oh no, something's missing. What is it? Clouds. Yes. Instagram influencer Tupi Saravia was caught photoshopping clouds into her pictures. She is so clever for doing this. The only reason she got caught though is because she was using the same clouds in her pictures. No matter where in the world she was, when she snapped a photo, those clouds were sure to be there. In an interview, she said that those clouds always looked the best to her and she didn't realize that they all looked the same until someone pointed it out. This is up there in cleverness with Madison Beer's glass pane idea. But unfortunately for both of them, they've been caught with their photoshopping because you just can't fool your fans. They will find out your tricks sooner or later. Capping things off at number 1, Lauren Goodger. Recently, Lauren Goodger was caught photoshopping a picture of her and her dad when she was 5 years old, and I just have to talk about it. She seems to have smoothed out her and her dad's face. Why? I don't know. I mean, the picture isn't fooling anyone. Sure, her dad looks kind of normal, but little Lauren, not so much. With all the smoothing and touching up, she's looking like a little CGI Renesmee from Twilight. Like, she doesn't look real. Also, there's kind of a sharp line around the side of her face, so you can tell that it doesn't quite match up to the rest of her body. This also begs the question of why she felt the need to Photoshop her childhood self in the first place. When you're a kid, looks don't matter, and if you're looking back on yourself as a kid, looks still shouldn't matter. There's no reason you have to go and alter your memory.
And at number 10, we have Tana Mojo. I think Tana is probably the worst influencer ever when it comes to photo editing, because at this point I think it's safe to say that she heavily edits all of her Instagram photos. She's open about it and jokes all the time about the fact that she's had facial modifications and Facetunes excessively, but it doesn't make it any less shocking when you see the before and after. One of the most recent was in November of 2019 when Tana attended the People's Choice Awards. After posting a photo to Instagram, some fans felt it looked nothing like Tana, so they went to find the Getty image, which side note you can do if you want to see any unedited photos of your favorite stars. And the results were shocking. She basically changed the entire structure of her face and lips. Another very famous time was when she took a photo on a beach, but then vlog footage came out showing that her body looked entirely different than what she posted online. And at number 9, Khloe Kardashian. Although we know that Kardashians Photoshop constantly, Khloe definitely gets called out the most. Probably because her Photoshop skills are the most fake. The worst and most publicized was when she posted to Instagram looking completely unlike herself. And then internet sleuths found that Khloe had filmed that exact same day on Keeping Up, and the before and after is literally unbelievable. Also, her necklace is missing in the after photo, not sure why that is. Another famous time she was called out was during a Calvin Klein photo shoot, and the before and after there is another crazy one. And at number 8, James Charles. James Charles wasn't called out for editing his face or body like a lot of other people on this list, but rather for photoshopping his makeup, which is a big no-no for beauty gurus. The post in question is this insane makeup look where James puts a Louis Vuitton logo on his eyelid. And of course all the comments were flooded with people asking him how he got the label to be so perfect, with James even liking comments saying that his artistry here was insane. But some other people in the comments were not falling for it and were certain the photo was edited, which led to James reposting on Twitter a day later that the logo was in fact edited on and not drawn on like people assumed. People instantly came for him in the replies, saying that he wasn't being honest when he posted the original photo. I'll leave that up to you guys. In number 7, Anastasia Krivitko. This next one is from Russian Instagram model Anastasia Krivitko. She's someone who is constantly called out because there are so many examples of her clearly editing her photos. And seriously, it doesn't even look like the same person in the before and after photos. But even though she is heavily criticized, she really doesn't seem to care. She currently has 12 million followers on Instagram, so I mean, hey, I guess it's been working for her. And at number 6, Kristen Hansher. Kristen is a very famous Instagram model and TikToker who posts insane makeup looks on her Instagram. And her unique look has made her fans obsessed with her, with lots of them calling her a Bratz doll look-alike. But it seems like a lot of this could be a lie, as she's been called out for editing her face and body numerous times over the years. Most insane to me is when this Instagram account showed a before and after of her actually editing a Snapchat filter. And we already know that Snapchat filters dramatically change the look of your face, so to edit one is pretty crazy. Halfway at number 5, Joanna Olsen. Swedish influencer Joanna Olsen came under fire after people noticed that she had lied about going to Paris. The influencer posted tons of photos of herself in Paris, but after looking a little closer, people could see the obvious photoshopping. And it was pretty clear someone took a photo of her and placed it in a Parisian background. I think the worst one is this one of her standing on a bridge. Like, it's clear the dimensions don't even look correct, and it's clear that her feet aren't even touching the ground. The comments on the photos are turned off and she never addressed the backlash, but this was mainstream news, so she definitely got a lot of heat for lying. I believe she also started the trend of influencers faking traveling too. In at number 4, Norvina. If you're a makeup lover, then you might already know who Norvina is, but if not, she's the president and creative director of Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is her mother, Anastasia Suarez's brand. She's known online as a makeup lover who posts insane looks to her Instagram page, but she's also been caught photoshopping her photos numerous times. Most notably, it seems she smooths her skin and slims her face and nose. In at number 3, Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day has been going viral on social media after people have been comparing some recent paparazzi photos to her Instagram photos. And spoiler alert, they look completely different. The paparazzi photos taken of her walking her dog were the first time that she'd been seen in public since October of 2019, and she was literally unrecognizable, especially because in her Instagram photos, her body has basically an entirely different shape. Aubrey has clapped back at the photos, saying the paparazzi ones are doctored. However, just days after, she was spotted at a pool, again looking very similar to the original paparazzi photos. And apparently it was confirmed that the woman in the pool is Aubrey, as other pool guests heard her saying her name multiple times. In at number 2, Tupi Saravia. A popular Instagram influencer has admitted that she edited the clouds in her travel photos after one commentator compiled a few of her photos and noticed the exact same cloud formation in all of them. The influencer said in an email on the subject, quote, "I can't believe how far this went," adding the laughing crying emoji. With her adding, quote, "Actually, I'm the first one to tell the joke about the clouds that are following me around the world." She went on to say that she does not hide her editing, and she's told her followers that she uses the app QuickShot to edit the sky in her photos. Apparently, the app includes something called a sky feature, which lets people enhance or replace the sky. And finally, number 1, Danielle Cohen. Danielle Cohen has been called out so many times for her very poor use of editing apps. And the backlash against it got so big at one point, it was a popular trend to make videos fixing all the editing on her pictures. So basically the point of the videos was to take one of her pictures and then edit it to make it look how she's supposed to look in real life, insinuating that the photos were heavily edited. And in most of Danielle's photos, the background is clearly curved around her hips and butt, making it pretty obvious the pictures were photoshopped. Danielle has vehemently denied the use of photoshopping. In one tweet, she admitted to face-tuning her face, but nobody seemed to believe it was just her face that was being edited. So that's all for the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts below. And I just want to say, I'm not trying to like shade any of these people, but I think it is important to show people the reality of the situation and that everything that we see on Instagram, for the most part, you know, isn't reality.
And at number 10, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid had her fans scratching their heads when she uploaded this photo of herself lounging in a bikini that was clearly photoshopped, but not in the way that you probably think. For some reason, Bella decided to add fake green bushes behind and in front of herself in the photo. We can assume that there was something ruining the back of the photo, and instead of scrapping the entire shot, she figured she could just add something on to hide it. But the most alarming thing is just how badly the bushes were edited onto the photo. Like, it looks like she simply just copied and pasted the picture, not trying at all to blend it or like make it less obvious. The caption on the photo was, "Lucky to get some vitamin D," and practically all the comments are pointing it out. And at number 9, Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner got caught not only photoshopping herself, but also Gordon Ramsay. The photo in question is one of the pair beside each other while Kris is holding a cookbook that she was promoting at the time. But the photo that she posted on Instagram was way different than the paparazzi photos that were posted from the night, and the side-by-side of the picture is shocking. In Kris's version of the photo, both of them look heavily airbrushed, with Kris removing most of her wrinkles. But she didn't just edit herself, she smoothed out his skin so much that she removed some of his wrinkles that were on his forehead. I'm not sure if he's the type that would actually like care about something like that, but I guess Kris figured the Photoshop would look pretty obvious if she didn't also smooth him out. In at number 8, Doja Cat. Doja Cat is an insanely talented singer. She's actually one of my favorites, and a part of the reason that people love her is her hilarious and sarcastic content on social media. And she's known for being a massive troll and just playing into internet culture. So when she posted some photos of herself at the pool, many of her fans were shocked, to say the least, because her Photoshop fail was so bad that it almost like she was just trolling her fans. Many of the comments on the picture were asking if the editing was a joke or if she was actually being serious, like really uploading this to the internet, which caused her to respond. In the tweet, she says that she didn't Photoshop her waist, but she did smooth out some of her razor bumps, also just basically telling everyone to leave her alone. So she didn't really address it, which, you know, we can assume that she did do a bit of editing on that one. And at number 7, Joanna Olsen. Swedish influencer Joanna Olsen came under fire after people noticed that she pretended to go to Paris by photoshopping her pictures. The influencer posted tons of photos of herself in Paris, presumably on a trip. But once fans started to look closer at the strange images, it was clear that she was photoshopped. And someone took a photo of her on a green screen or something and placed it on a Parisian background. I think the worst one is this one of her standing on a bridge. It's clear that the dimensions just don't look right, and her feet aren't even touching the ground. The comments on the photos are turned off, and she never addressed the backlash, but this made mainstream news. So she definitely got a lot of heat for lying. I also believe that she started the trend of influencers like faking vacations and stuff with Photoshop. And then number 6, Tupi Saravia. This case of photoshopping is definitely the most lighthearted, and I can't believe this influencer got so much hate for this simple editing. For some background here, Tupi is a travel influencer, so she takes photos in all the places that she travels to. Seems like a pretty sweet deal. However, one Twitter user looked closely at her photos and noticed that she had the exact same cloud formation in many of them. This caused people online to accuse her of photoshopping the clouds into the photos to make them look nicer. Tupi actually owned up to the photoshopping and wrote in an email, quote, "I can't believe how far this went. Actually, I'm the first one to tell the joke about the clouds that are following me around the world." She went on to say that she does not hide her editing, and she's told her followers that she uses the app QuickShot to edit the sky in her photos. Halfway number 5, Lindsay Lohan. This might be the worst case of Photoshop from a public figure that I have ever seen. From the incredibly obvious Photoshop, it's clear that Lindsay was trying to make her butt bigger and her legs look smaller. But the door behind her is completely warped, and there's no way to miss it. She tried to take attention off the Photoshopping with the caption, quote, "My feet look red, lol. Had to take that out. Only real red is my hair." The photo has since been deleted because it was getting clowned all over the internet. I just still can't believe this was ever seriously posted in the first place. It is so bad. And at number 4, Jake Paul. Jake Paul looked more muscular than usual in a promo picture for a boxing match. This was in preparation for the Logan Paul vs. KSI match that Jake was fighting in. He was posting photos of his body training before the fight. So when he posted this photo, fans were suspicious of the Photoshop. When you look closer at the photo, you can actually see where the editing takes place. And if you focus above his arms on his upper traps, you can clearly see that they have been enlarged. There's even a bit of a blur where the Photoshop happens. However, I will give him the benefit of the doubt here that I also assume other fighters would Photoshop their promotional materials. Honestly, I wonder if KSI did. Let me know below. And at number 3, Koey. A Chinese influencer named Koey and her friend were exposed after someone took photos of them out in public and compared the photos to her Instagram photos. The women look so different, it is actually scary. I honestly didn't know it was possible to edit a body so heavily with apps. The photos went viral all over the world because of how different that they are. Their bodies were edited much slimmer, and their faces are so different that they are unrecognizable from the originals. I don't think there's one part of her face that is not edited. The influencer responded to the backlash writing, quote, "After being secretly photographed, I haven't been in the best of moods. That's why these photos never made it online after I weighed my options." And at number 2, Gabby Hanna. YouTuber Gabby Hanna decided to play a trick on her fans and pretended to go to Coachella. She posted photos online of herself all dressed up at the grounds of the festival, but many fans were skeptical and accused her of photoshopping herself at the event. After speculation around the Photoshop was mounting, Gabby released a video revealing that she did fake everything after all. She apparently went to a park and took photos before the event and just photoshopped herself at Coachella using photos from the festival. And I have to admit, I was shocked when I learned that this one was all a lie, and very impressed how creative the prank was. And finally, number 1, Tammy Hembrow. Fitness influencer Tammy Hembrow is known online for her insane body. However, Celebface recently uploaded a side-by-side comparison of the influencer on her Instagram versus real life, and there seems to be a slight difference. In the Instagram photo, Tammy's waist and legs are slimmer, leading some to think that she photoshopped herself. Others claim it's just due to the posing. There's another famous photo comparison of Tammy with a fan versus her on Instagram. In the Instagram photo, she looks slimmer and more toned, along with having tanner skin. But she claims that she never edits her body in her photos. Speaking on her podcast, she said, quote, "The only thing I do is whiten my eyes a tiny bit, and then sometimes more smoothing if my skin is breaking out. I feel like a lot of people use it. I don't go crazy with Facetune. There's people who edit their body and change so much." But many don't believe this claim. In at number 10, Kylie Jenner. At this point, I think we all know that any photo we see on Instagram from a Kardashian sister has been edited in some way. It has gotten to a point where the Kardashians won't even allow unedited photos of themselves on the internet. That's why allegedly Kylie is trying to get these paparazzi photos from the zoo taken down off the internet. Similarly to what happened with Khloe last year. The photos are obviously unedited, and it appears that Kylie is also not wearing any makeup. Since Kylie is allegedly begging for these photos to be taken down, per the tweet, it's clear that everything she posts is edited, and she's terrified of a photo of herself being online that she doesn't like. In at number 9, purple skies. Nothing is more beautiful than a cotton candy sunset when the sky turns pink and purple. And a part of what makes it so beautiful is the fact that it is so rare. Because it's so rare, Instagram models try and have it in the background of their photos to make it more interesting. Like this girl who took a photo on a beach with some palm trees and a beautiful sunset. But when you look closer, you can see that it's all a lie, and she photoshopped the background onto the photo. This is made clear when you look closer at the palm tree specifically, and in between the branches you can see that the real picture was taken in a normal blue sky. Because the background is edited, I would assume her body is also edited, although if it is, it's not as obvious. In at number 8, the Stokes twins. The Stokes twins have just over 7.5 million subscribers, but back when they were celebrating a milestone of hitting 3 million, they posted this photo to Instagram. On the photo they said, quote, "Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I'm so grateful to have you guys on this journey. Love you 3 million. But once people took a closer look at the photo, many were confused how it could be raining so much that their shirts were see-through, but their hair and face were completely dry. The consensus here is that they wanted to post a photo where they could make it seem like they had abs, and having them soak through a wet shirt was the best way. In at number 7, perfect breakfast. Nothing looks better than a beautiful meal, and influencers are known to take photos of their meals to show off how delicious and appetizing it looks to their followers. This influencer decided to take it up a notch, and instead of ordering a beautiful meal and taking a photo with it, she decided to photoshop the food onto what looks like a real plate. It also looked like she photoshopped the other food as well. I wonder if this was some sort of brand deal or something. I don't know why, but this is next level hilarious to me. Like, I wonder how often people are adding in food or things in the background and we just don't even notice unless it's a really bad Photoshop job. And at number 6, Tana Mongeau. I think Tana is probably the worst influencer ever when it comes to photo editing, because at this point I think it's safe to say she heavily edits all of her Instagram photos. She's open about it and jokes all the time about the fact that she has had facial modifications and face times excessively, but it doesn't make it any less shocking when you see the before and afters. One of the most infamous is from November of 2019 when Tana attended the People's Choice Awards. And after posting a photo to Instagram, some fans felt it looked nothing like Tana, so they went to find the Getty image, which, side note, you can actually do if you want to see unedited photos, and the results were shocking. She basically changed the entire structure of her face and lips, and I don't think there's one single part of her face that was not edited. Halfway at number 5, Kim Kardashian. We have yet another Kardashian Photoshop fail. This time Kim was caught editing a video. In a Skims campaign ad, Kim dragged her finger across her waist while feeling the underwear that was launching, and when her finger dragged across her waist, her finger got distorted, making it pretty obvious her waist was edited to be smaller. Following all the backlash, Kim's team claimed it was just a quote uploading glitch, and it happened after the video lost some of its quality in the upload process. And I don't know anything about tech, but I'm not sure why it would only glitch in one certain area if it was actually an upload error. Apparently a glitch-free version of the ad is now taking its place, but I think we all know it wasn't really a glitch. And at number 4, Alina Omovich. Alina Omovich, or Alina Star, is an Instagram model who has over 1.5 million followers on Instagram. And just going through her page, her pictures look unreal, and not necessarily in a good way. In a way that I'm pretty confident none of her pictures are actually real. Instagram account Celeb pasted a side-by-side of her photos versus her in real life, and the difference is shocking. Mostly because she looks great in the original photos. It seems that in her Instagram photos she tries to look completely unnatural. Her waist is incredibly small, along with incredibly large breasts and butt. A combination that's usually only possible with surgery or Photoshop. One commenter said she looks like the mean mother from Coraline, while others commented that she's gonna be having back problems soon from her breast implants. Both are probably true. In at number 3, Ariana Grande. Every time that I click on this photo, I am still shocked to see that it exists online and hasn't been deleted by Ariana yet. Ariana posted this photo as a teaser for her latest single called Focus. The text in front of her on the picture even reads 12 days till the single. But if you look a little closer at the picture, specifically Ariana's hands, you can see there was a major Photoshop fail. There's no before and after with this one, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that her thumb is insanely long. long. Her whole hand is longer than normal, but her thumb is absurdly long and thin and has clearly been stretched out. I'm just trying to wonder what was accomplished by the extra long thumb. Maybe she wanted her arm to look thinner or something, who knows. The comments on the photo are also turned off, so clearly she was getting tons of comments about it, and instead of deleting the picture, she just turned off the comments. I guess there could even be a theory that the whole thing was done just to generate press for her song, but I guess I'll leave that one up to you. And at number 2, Madison Beer. Madison Beer is one of the most beautiful women ever, and even though she denies getting any modifications or editing her photos, people do not believe her, and people online are desperately trying to catch her editing her photos any chance that they get. This was the case in 2020 after she uploaded some photos from a beach day. In one set of photos on a boardwalk, the glass pane behind her magically went away. That way, if she edited her butt, which was beside the glass pane, you wouldn't be able to tell. Unfortunately, her plan sort of backfired, and fans instantly noticed that the glass pane was missing, clearly showing the photo was altered and she was trying to hide it. After the backlash, she claimed she was trying to remove bird poop from the photos, but nobody believed her. And finally, number 1, Danielle Cohen. Danielle is so well known for editing her photos. There is an entire Instagram account dedicated to exposing her Photoshop. Many of the photos will show what Dani looked like the same day in the same outfit she wore in an Instagram photo, and the difference is shocking. In this one, she's standing right in front of a wavy ocean, and right behind her butt, the waves are distorted. Coincidence? I think not. Then another shows her posing in a bathing suit beside a screenshot of a video in the same suit. I'm sure the posing and angles had a huge impact, but we're pretty sure the photo was edited too.
Starting us off at number 10, we got the nail in the hair. I will say this one is a toughie. At first, it was very hard to notice, but there are some real detectives out there in the world of the internet, and it seems Kim wasn't safe this time around. I mean, she's never really safe, and I could probably make this top 10 list about her, or her team's editing fails, but that's no fun. Back to Kim's hair, I don't know if she was holding her hair up with her hands, or maybe a nail just chipped off and got stuck in there, but in one of her Instagram posts, it appears there's a nail and a part of a finger, maybe, in her hair. Normally, that'd all be grand, but given that both of Kim's hands were on the wall in front of her, well, no one is really sure whose hand was in Kim's hair. Given that her nails have the same scaly style as her hair, obviously it was her finger, but again, I don't understand what happened here. They liked the way her hair looked in one photo, so they photoshopped it over another photo in a different pose. Instagram, man, I genuinely don't understand it. And number 9, Khloe's necklace. Aside from influencer and whatever else the Kardashians are, I think we need to add a magician to Khloe's resume, as she somehow has the ability to make things disappear quite frequently. Back in May of 2020, Khloe posted a little selfie in which she appeared to look much darker than normal. Was it a spray tan? Was it a surgery? Nope. Simply just some photoshopping skills. Or mistakes. If you actually zoom into Khloe's neck, you'll notice part of her necklace is just missing. It's magic, folks, or like the Joker when he slams the guy's head into the pencil and goes, ah, it's magic. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? When the Joker goes to like a little like mob meeting and he puts the pencil down and he slams the guy's head in, and then he's like, it's magic. Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah. Khloe has a necklace hanging perfectly, even though it's not fully clasped around her neck. Oh, so creepy. But in a later episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you can see the entire necklace, which means one of two things. Either Khloe was stirring up some magic, or someone on her team made a boo-boo. I would say it's her wizardly skills, but it seems her skin appears to be less tan in the show as well, so I guess it was just the editing of the photo. Number 8, the 6 toes. I could have put this one at number 6, but here we are at number 8. It is what it is. Back in August 2019, Kim shared a photo beside her sister, Kylie, promoting her new fragrance while wearing a half-dressed looking thing where one leg is fully covered and the other is fully exposed. Generally don't understand fashion, but they make it look good, so let's roll with it. Apparently people weren't so focused on the strange dresses the women were wearing, and instead pointed out something about Kim's toes. Now I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm actually not that surprised that people were looking at Kim's feet, because that's definitely a thing, and I'm sure some got a little too excited when they got more than they originally hoped for. One of Kim's feet was showing that the reality star had a total of 6 toes, which was clearly an edit fail, prompting Kim to clear up any rumors and make an Instagram video showing her feet and toes. And I'm sure that made some people very happy as well. I mean, she's a businesswoman, but not a smart one, because she could have sold those feet pics for like thousands, maybe in tens of thousands. I don't know how much do feet pictures really go for, guys. I don't know. On to number 7, Funhouse. You guys know when you would go to the Funhouse at a state fair or carnival, you'd have all those like crazy rooms, like the topsy-turvy one where things appear to be sideways and you lose your balance, and that spinning round thing that you gotta walk through. It's like I don't know what it is, but it spins and you gotta walk through it as it spins and you like fall down. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Sometimes the Funhouses have mirrors that distort your look. They make you appear very tall, very short, wide, thin. You guys get the idea. And back in January 2020, Kim and Kanye started the year off together, surprisingly, at a fun house, or so it seems, as Kim posted this photo to her Instagram. In the photo, if you look toward the middle, it appears a little distorted, but the real giveaway is on Kim's right, where the mirror or door frame is completely out of shape. And obviously they weren't at a fun house. This was just a really bad editing fail. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my dad humor. I'm not even a father yet. Golly gee, can't wait to see what comes out of my mouth when I'm a dad. At number 6, Kourtney's bath. In March of 2019, Kourtney posted a photo of herself in the bath with bubbles covering all the non-Instagram friendly stuff. I know the photo itself itself looks great, it seems some fans were quick to point out, or at least express their concerns, over one of Kourtney's legs. More specifically, it appeared as though one of her legs were significantly longer than the other, as you can clearly see in the photo. Actually, you can't really see her entire leg, as her upper thigh has either been entirely removed, or her pose was just so immaculate that it was hidden. I'm gonna say we could chalk this one up as another Photoshop fail, but it seems Kourtney isn't the one getting caught as often as her sisters, which leads us to the halfway point on our list. At number 5, Kim's Skims scandal. Say that fast 5 times, I'm not going to. The brand itself originally faced backlash for being named Kimono, so they changed to Skims. And offering sizes for all women ranging from an extra extra small to a 5XL, it seems Kim wanted to be as inclusive and body positive as she possibly could. And that's all fantastic, but it seems when Kim posted her first photo featuring a handful of different women, herself included, some fans were quick to notice something that really defeats the purpose of the brand. With the idea of being natural and authentically yourself, you'd think the Kardashians, or their team, would think, maybe this one time let's just not edit the photo. Obviously that wasn't going to happen, but wishful thinking, right? Instead they decided to edit the picture, got caught, and then things got really weird. The page Fake Girls F ya, they use the full F word, but I can't say that, was one of the first to notice the mishap, which may have a separate photo of Kim inserted with the other women. In a small gap between Kim's side and arm, you could see the model behind her has a part of her thigh missing, or so it appears. Talk about an editing fail. Yikes. On to number 4. Mole mole mole! If you guys have seen Austin Powers, you'll get it. Now, truth be told, I wouldn't have noticed this if a fan didn't point it out, but then again, I'm never really keeping up with the Kardashians. Eh? You see what I did there? Alright. But if you're a fan of Khloe, then you probably know she has a mole on one of her cheeks. Nothing wrong with that. I think certain birthmarks or moles or whatever you want to call it adds uniqueness. Makes you different. Different is good. Anyways, moving on. But in Khloe's books, it's not so good. Different. You gotta be the same, I guess. That's why she appeared to cover up her mole in a selfie, which had a lot of fans commenting about exactly that. However, this may have not been an editing fail as much as it was a makeup trick, as Khloe did respond to one comment defending her for the cover up, if that's even what you'd call it. The comment from a fan read, I quote, "I have 3 moles on mine, and the miracles of foundation and the laziness have taken it off with a Q-tip in those spots." To which Khloe replied with kissing emojis. So maybe she just wore makeup to cover it up. I'll be honest guys, I'm not really sure. I don't even fully know what foundation is, but the Kardashians tend to stick to their guns when called out or proven wrong, so really who knows if this was an editing fail or just a makeup trick. Either way, like, I don't know why you'd cover that up if, you know, you have tons of pictures with it. I don't know, but hey, to each their own. I'm not judging, kinda am, but I'm trying not to. I'm doing my best. Now, number 3, True's birthday. To celebrate her baby daughter's first birthday, Khloe took to Instagram and posted some photos of True Thompson, her only child. Some of the photos showed True laying on Khloe's chest moments after birth, which is truly a beautiful sight. Like, life and birth is just, it's great. The issue here is even moments after giving birth, Khloe still felt it was important to look her very best. Or maybe it was Khloe's marketing team, because I genuinely don't think they as individuals, as in the Kardashians, really care as much as it seems online. Could be wrong, but I feel like, you know, they're human like us. They have their days where they don't care. Regardless, if you look at the photo of Khloe, who just gave birth, well, her face looks pretty damn good for someone who just pushed out another human being. Usually after pregnancy, your face is flushed or even a little pale. Maybe you're a little sweaty. I don't know, clearly haven't seen much birth firsthand. Point is, you don't look like you're ready for a night out, yet somehow Khloe does. On top of this, you can see the remote attached to the bed is slightly missing its blue outline and appears a little distorted. So that requires me to just say one thing, folks. Yikes. On to number 2, Kylie's vacation. I know she's a Jenner, but Kylie and Kendall both have so many Photoshop fails, I figured I'd include them both on this list. So Kylie here decided to post a photo from her vacation alongside her other model influencer friend Stacey. Now at first glance, you may notice both ladies' arms appear to be a little distorted, but the dead giveaway would be Stacey's thigh. Now although the edit appears to be done on Stacey, the photo was posted to Kylie's Instagram, so who knows ultimately why the editing decision was made. There was another photo on a couch where you can see the pattern on the pillow behind Kylie clearly distorted as well. I can make a top 10 Kylie and Kendall list on this for sure. And at number 1, we got Kendall Jenner. She's been caught so many times that there really isn't just one example, so her name is the number. There was her February 2021 slip up in which she was called out for Photoshop in the picture of her wearing that really small red bikini, in which, let's be real, she didn't have to Photoshop anything because she's already perfect. As we all are. We're all perfect in our own way, right? So I just want to let you guys know that. There's also that video glitch in which you could actually see her waist moving either from an edit or potentially being sucked in. My favorite though was the Taco Tuesday post in which Kendall clearly missed the warped edge of the pool, leading to her being called out by her fans and followers, and then deleting the picture and then posting it shortly after. But when she would re-upload it, the error was fixed. But the internet lives forever, so that picture will always be out there. And we obviously can't forget to mention Khloe's, whole bikini mishap where the photo of her was I don't know if you'd say it was leaked. Apparently like an old assistant or an ex-assistant accidentally posted it and it wasn't meant to be posted and it wasn't edited. She didn't even look bad, but to their standards apparently she did, which I don't understand. But hey, welcome to the world, folks.
Coming in number 10, Nikita Dragun. Nikita Dragun has been very open about her use of Photoshop in the past. She even did a video with James Charles where they saw who could Facetune their photos the best. This case of photoshopping probably isn't what you're expecting, but it's still got a lot of hate. After Nikita launched Dragun Beauty, she decided to have a pop-up shop in the Beverly Center. She even posted some photos with her mother showcasing how proud she was to open the store. But people noticed something strange about the photos, and Nikita looks to have photoshopped her own mini billboard onto a sign that was at the mall. Fans weren't sure if she was slyly trying to cover the sign that was there, or if she just wanted to look more impressive to social media. Coming in number 9, Kim Kardashian. Kim and Kylie were serving up some premium looks when they were shooting the promo for their fragrance collaboration. But if you're looking really closely at Kim's feet, you can see that it looks like Kim has 6 toes. But I really can't rationalize why they would ever want or need to edit their toes. The funniest part is that the photo is still up, even with all of the people pointing it out in the comments. Kim ended up addressing this online because people were thinking she might actually have 6 toes and it's not a Photoshop fail. She even responded with photos of her feet writing, "Everyone thinks that I have 6 toes and it's really wild," while pointing to a bump on the side of her foot. She goes on to say, quote, "But it's this part of my foot that when I wear a shoe just like this, it like smashes down right there," adding, "And in a picture I don't know why it looks like a 6th toe." So at least she owned up to how strange it really looked. Coming number 8, Lauren Gray. Influencer Lauren Gray is gorgeous, but even she has been caught editing her photos. Lauren doesn't overly edit like some other people on this list. It's usually minor changes to make her face and body look more flawless. Also, it's clear that the angle of this photo makes a huge difference, like this side by side. In another photo, it's clear that her door is curved near the bottom, and I'm honestly not sure why she would have even edited it like this, and I'm honestly not sure why she would have even edited it like that, unless she was trying to give her hair more volume or something, but it's clearly been Facetuned somehow. Coming in number 7, James Charles. It's no secret that James Charles edits his photos. He's been very open about his use of Facetune in the past, and has even made videos editing his own followers' photos. However, his use of Facetune has gotten him into hot water in the past, because he edits his makeup looks to give the illusion that he is a better makeup artist. In response to this backlash, he claims that editing photos is just as much of an art as doing the makeup. James was also exposed for editing his nether region at Coachella. He made a statement by wearing incredibly revealing chaps, and on Instagram everything looked flawless. But when a fan showed a photo of how James actually looked that day, it was clear that there was a lot of razor burn in that area. Coming number 6, Madison Beer. Madison Beer usually appears to be flawless, and because of that people are constantly trying to catch her photoshopping her pictures. Usually there is no evidence of editing, and she has stood firm that she does not edit any of her photos. But one set of photos was exposed, and now everyone thinks that she's just really good at editing. In one set of photos on a boardwalk, the glass pane behind her magically went away. That way if she edited her butt, which was beside this glass pane, you would not even be able to tell. Unfortunately, her plan sort of backfired, and fans instantly noticed the glass pane missing, clearly showing that the photo was altered. After the backlash though, she claimed that she was just trying to remove bird poop from the photos. Pretty good excuse. Coming in number 5, Tana Mongeau. Tana is probably the most famous person on earth for face tuning, and she is constantly getting called out for Photoshop fails. One example of her insane editing comes from her red carpet photos from the People's Choice Awards in 2019. When people saw her Instagram, they thought that she looked unreal, but then the Getty image was released and it was like night and day. The amount of editing done to Tana's picture completely changed the way that she looked from her real image. As someone on the internet put it, it literally changed her bone structure. It's honestly somewhat impressive how good she is at editing, but it's crazy just how much she changes herself. Coming in number 4, Alicia Marie.
I'm actually not the best at Photoshop. I do have it. I don't really use it that often, but you know, we've all tried to like blur some stuff before.
Alicia Marie is a YouTuber with just over 8 million subscribers, and she has appeared to joke about using Photoshop a few different times. In another post to Instagram, she hinted at using Photoshop, saying, "When you low-key Photoshopped your cotton candy because it was so hot it melted." Although photoshopping your cotton candy because it melted and then admitting it can hardly be considered getting caught using Photoshop. On the other hand, this photo here became a topic of discussion for her fans after many noticed a small mistake. If you look closely at her neck, it appears that she had used the warp tool or something, because there's no way that anyone's neck would flex like that. Coming number 3, the Stokes twins. Okay, this one is a little ridiculous, but thankfully the good people at Reddit were quick to call these two out on photoshopping this post. The Stokes twins have just over 7.5 million subscribers, but back when they were celebrating a milestone of hitting 3 million, they posted this photo to Instagram. On the photo they said, "Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I am so grateful to have you guys on this journey. I love you 3 million. Although once this photo hit Reddit, people were confused as to how it seemed to be raining, but their hair wasn't wet at all. Exposing the Stokes twins, they said, "When it's raining but not enough to make your hair wet." wet. I mean, oof. I hope this was intentional because if not, it looks really bad. Coming number 2, Stassi Baby. Back in 2019, both Kylie Jenner and her best friend Stassi were being slammed online for what was called painfully obvious photo editing. The photo posted to Instagram shows the pair in what appears to be form-fitting dresses. Kylie posted the photo for her 250 million followers and said, "Opposites attract." Critics of the photo believe that Stassi's figure was heavily edited though. Especially if you take a closer look at her left leg, you can actually see the pixelated lines where she had shaved off some of her leg in Photoshop. One person commented on the photo, "Quite sad really that you have to airbrush everything, but at least give your mate 2 matching legs." With another adding, "If opposites attract, then shouldn't her legs be stuck together? What is up with that? What are those?" For real though, you'd think that if you were posting a photo with this heavy of editing, you'd at least take time, I don't know, use the blur tool to maybe smooth that pixelation out. Just a thought. Last but certainly not least, our number 1 spot, Nikki Tutorials. So many influencers and YouTubers use Facetune, but secretly, of course. Nikki Tutorials, on the other hand, took editing her photos to a whole new level. Back in mid-December of 2020, this YouTuber actually announced a collaboration with Facetune. Announcing this on a post that was heavily edited, she said, "She got that power, that Facetune power. I've always loved Facetuning my photos, no surprise here, to take my photos to the next level. In my new video, I expose all my Facetune hacks, that before and after, damn." Although I just love that in announcing this partnership, she completely exposes herself for constantly face-tuning her own photos. It's rare that you can get an admission of guilt like this, but I suppose pleading guilty to editing your photos in the form of a sponsorship from the company helping you edit them is a pretty good way to do it.
In at number 10, Celine Santino. Celine Santino is an influencer based in Zurich with over 600,000 followers on Instagram. And from her Instagram, it's clear that she's known for her voluptuous figure, specifically for her ultra small waist paired with her huge butt. And many of her photos are showing off this unreal figure. But it's pretty clear from one look at her Instagram that her face and body are heavily edited. Her face even looks somewhat fake, like she's an IMVU or something. Celebface not only did a side-by-side of Celine's body with and without Photoshop, they also included some before and after photos as well, making it clear that she's had a lot of work done on her face and body to make her look like an Instagram baddie. I really still can't get over the editing of her waist though, it's like next level small. And at number 9, Maddie Crumb. Maddie Crumb, also known by her username I Blow Your Mind, is known for having an insane model-esque body, with a very thin physique and incredibly long legs and torso. But based on a side-by-side, it's clear that she's either photoshopping herself slimmer or she's incredibly good with angles. It also looks like she might have stretched her photos lengthwise, which would make her look taller as well as thinner. A lot of people commenting on the Photoshop are concerned for Maddie, as it seems that she's edited her body to the extreme. However, I do want to note that when I was looking through her more recent pictures, it does look like her photos are a lot more natural. She's not posting so many photos like her older ones, so it's great to see that she's progressing and hopefully getting a little more natural. And at number 8, Khloe Kardashian. Even though we know all the Kardashians edit their photos, Khloe is definitely the worst, and it seems like she makes herself look different in every one of her photos, leading many to wonder what she actually looks like. The whole fiasco with Khloe's editing came to a boiling point when her grandmother MJ posted a cute photo of her at the beach, unedited, and she was so outraged about it that she filed legal takedown claims to get it off the internet. This video shows what is believed to be an unedited video of Khloe, and it's shocking to see just how unrecognizable she is here. And it seems that Khloe photoshops herself differently each time, so we're never really quite sure which Khloe we're gonna get. And at number 7, Dirty Hippie. Hannah Tittensor, known by her username Dirty Hippie, does not only edit her body to be slimmer, she also heavily tans, some say in order to look biracial. If you were to look at her most recent photos, you would assume that she was black, but when you see what she looked like before, she is completely white. And her excessive tanning as well as makeup techniques make her look like an entirely different person. She was even on one of Barcroft's episodes about people addicted to tanning. Some accounts have also exposed her Photoshop. It's clear from the side-by-sides that she edits her face and body a lot. Just comparing how she looked on her TV appearance versus on her Instagram really says it all. And at number 6, Chloe Khan. Chloe Khan first became known from the X Factor UK for her insane look. She had actually been on TV before, and in 2009 she appeared on the BBC 3 show Snog, Marry, Avoid. Then in 2010 she auditioned for the X Factor and went totally viral. She did make it through the boot camp but was kicked off the show for too much partying. Now she is known for her risque Instagram and for looking literally nothing like she did on X Factor. Through a mix of facial and body modifications along with photo editing, she is unrecognizable from who she was before. Halfway at number 5, Lauren Gray. Lauren Gray is one of the most beautiful women in the world. She first gained fame on Musical.ly, then was still huge on TikTok when it was first created. She currently has 22 million followers on Instagram and is known for her breathtaking beauty. Since she first gained fame on Instagram, she's been accused of heavily editing her face to make it look flawless. She was also young when she first started, and many believe she edited herself to look older. From this side by side, taken what looks like on the same day, its clear lighting and editing make a huge difference in her appearance online. But clearly, she is still absolutely gorgeous. In at number 4, Nita Kuzmina. Nita Kuzmina is a model and former reality TV star with 1.8 million followers on Instagram. She's one of the most famous Instagram models from Russia on the platform. She's changed a lot since she appeared on the TV show Vacation in Mexico. From the photos on her Instagram page, she's very glamorous and beautiful. Her skin looks so smooth at times that she doesn't even look real. But it turns out that her real name is Gupta, and if you search that name, you can see how different she looked before and how much editing and plastic surgery that she's gotten. It's believed she got filler in her lips, changed the shape of her nose, breast implants, and she corrected her cheekbone line as well. And with just how perfect her photos are, it's not hard to think she heavily edits them. And at number 3, Andrea G. Next up we have Andrea, who's known as Miss Andrea G. Andrea, the queen of swimwear as she calls herself, has over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and I understand why she's the swimwear queen, because she's constantly on a beach somewhere showing off her body in a swimsuit. And her body looks absolutely flawless in her photos, which is even more impressive considering she is a new mom. But from some before and after photos, it's clear that she heavily edits her pictures. From this before and after, she makes herself look significantly smaller on her Instagram. She's also been accused of photoshopping abs onto herself, and critics claim that her abs look slightly different in each picture. And at number 2, Christine Quinn. Christine Quinn is known as the most savage and luxurious realtor on the hit Netflix show Selling Sunset, and she's constantly posting her looks to her almost 2 million followers. Personally, she is my favorite on Selling Sunset because she brings the most drama. But she was accused of photoshopping her photos when some photos were compared to a video that was taken on the exact same day. And you can tell her face and body have been considerably altered. The most obvious modification from the side by side is making her waist much smaller than in the video. And finally, number 1, Kristen Hancher. Kristen is a very famous Instagram model and TikToker who posts insane makeup looks on her Instagram, and her unique look has made her fans obsessed with her, with lots of them calling her a Bratz doll lookalike. But it seems like a lot of this could be a lie, as she has been called out for editing her face and body numerous times over the years. The most insane to me was when an Instagram account showed a before and after of her editing a Snapchat filter, which we know already distorts faces. So the fact that she distorted a filter even more than it naturally does is just shocking. Even though Kristen is naturally beautiful, it honestly seems like she doesn't even want to look natural, and instead she wants to look supernatural. Some say she even resembles a Sims character at times. I'll let you guys be the judge of that one, but I can definitely see where that theory comes from. And at number 10, Azusa Gayoki. Instagram versus reality is something that we cover on the channel pretty often, but this one is truly another level. We talk about Facetune often, but there's an app called Face App which can change someone's face so well that the person could look entirely differently than what they appear. And that's what happened here. A Japanese media outlet recently exposed this young female influencer as actually a 50-year-old man using Face App to change himself into the popular influencer. Some of their followers had been suspicious for a while, but these bombshell photos show the clear before and after. When asked why he did it, the man said he adopted a feminine and youthful image to gain followers because he thought that nobody would be interested in following a man his age. And at number 9, Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is known for his signature look of black chin-length hair, heavy eyeliner, and lipstick. He rarely goes out in public without wearing the heavy makeup, and when he does, he is completely unrecognizable. He spoke about his obsession with makeup in one interview, saying, quote, "I wear makeup because it's the way I like to look. More like why a woman wears makeup, not in terms of looking feminine, but just to look a specific way. Maybe attractive is the right word." In photos where he is not wearing makeup, he looks nothing like himself. He has no eyebrows because he generally fills them in, and his lips are much smaller than they appear because he overlines them. When he is in full makeup out in public, he's Marilyn Manson, then without it all, he's Brian Warner. And at number 8, Trisha Paytas. Ethan Klein once labeled Trisha Paytas the quote, spokesperson for Instagram versus reality because of how different Trish looks on Instagram versus in photos and videos. On the left we have an Instagram photo, then on the right there's a picture of Trish without any makeup on but in the same hairstyle. The difference is day and night, and it's clear the change is due to heavy makeup along with some editing. I'm sure camera angles also made a huge difference as well, but if you saw Trish on the street in that second photo, you might not have realized that it's actually her. And at number 7, Blac Chyna. Chyna has Fan's been caught editing her Instagram photos many times. Once was in a selfie with Kim Kardashian where it's clear their waists and butts were altered. But this one from 2018 is so shocking that it's hard to believe it was actually posted to the internet. When you first look at the photo, nothing seems too strange and China looks amazing. But when you look closer at the door, you can see that to her right there's a huge squiggle or wave, if that's the right word to call it, in the door, clearly showing the photo was heavily edited. I would love to know what the before looked like on this one, honestly. Fans not only called out China for the Photoshop fail, but they also got angry at her for changing her body in her photos, which can negatively affect our perception of what a real body looks like. And at number 6, Tammy Hembrow. Tammy Hembrow was exposed by Instagram page Beauty False in some side-by-side images of her on Instagram versus in reality. Frankly, these photos aren't all that different, but it seems that fans were mainly disappointed because she is a fitness page, so it's not fair to say that you worked in the gym to get a certain look, then basically edit your body online. We're also sure that Tammy takes advantage of her angles to look way more snatched in her Instagram photos. Many in the comments accused Tammy of being a boxy body shape in real life, but making it seem like she is curvy on Instagram due to her edits in posing. Halfway number 5, NX Shia. This influencer with over 800,000 followers has not revealed her real name, but in the side-by-side you can see that her body on Instagram versus real life is very different. This influencer has not been shy that she edits her photos. She apparently even teaches her followers how to edit like her, but the difference is still shocking. The side-by-side that shocked me the most was this first one in the blue and white dress. She made her body an entirely different shape through editing, along with making her makeup a lot more prominent. She's still very beautiful without the Photoshop, so I wish she would embrace her natural look. And at number 4, Lisa Lee. This one's not so much a case of the influencer changing themselves in their photos, rather this influencer changed her life to make it appear a lot more glamorous than it actually is. Chinese influencer Lisa Lee gained over 1 million followers for her posh lifestyle that all of her followers wanted, but her landlord exposed it was all a lie. Her landlord took a video of what her luxury apartment actually looked like, and it was absolutely disgusting, full of moldy food and dog poop. The landlord said in the video that it was so dirty that even professional cleaners did not want to clean it. Lee also had several unpaid utility bills amounting to about 3,000 won. The landlord described Lee as a beautiful woman online but a disgusting person in her personal life. After being exposed online, she decided to change her ways and clean her nasty apartment. And at number 3, Kumchuk X2. This influencer has over 160,000 followers and is known for her hourglass shape, but Celeb Face exposed that it was all a lie. In the side-by-side images you can see that she consistently makes her waist smaller and hips larger to get that classic Instagram model body that we see these days. In some photos her waist is so unnaturally small it's obvious that it's been edited even without the original photo to compare. Her natural body still looks amazing though, and I would personally kill to look like her naturally. And at number 2, Kim Kardashian. Kim and pretty much the entire Kardashian clan are known for their voluptuous figures that they say is all natural. However, over the years the women are often accused of getting a Brazilian butt lift, where fat is taken out of the stomach and injected into the butt. These rumors really came to a head in 2017 when paparazzi photos showed Kim's butt without any retouching, and it looked nothing like what we see on Instagram. Mainly she looks to have a lot of cellulite on her legs and butt, along with it not being perfectly smooth and round like we see on Instagram. Kim actually denied that these photos were real and claimed that the photographer edited the photos to make her butt look even worse than it actually does. But fans saw through the BS, and Kim apparently lost 100,000 followers because of this scandal. And finally, number 1, Katie McDermott. The Love Island star has grown her Instagram account to 1.3 million followers, and it features tons of sultry snaps. But Beauty False exposed some side-by-side images that show that what's on Instagram is not what she really looks like. Specifically, her butt looks much larger in her photos compared to in the unedited ones. We're not sure if this is all due to editing or if Katie underwent a cosmetic procedure to get the desired effect, but that's not all. Katie was also slammed for trying to make it look like a photo she stole from the internet were her own abs. She caps in this photo, "Hard work pays off." But internet sleuths soon realized that the photo was stolen from Instagram account InstaFit Society.
Starting things off at number 10, we got the Claremont twins. Shannon and Sinead Claremont are influencer twins based in LA and NYC with 1.4 million followers on Instagram. They are famous for being really hot twins. But the twins are notorious users of editing apps to the point where they don't even look like themselves in person. The image on the left shows what they look like on Instagram, and the image on the right is what they look like in person. The twins have also had a fair amount of surgery over the years. The top photo is what they used to look like a few years ago, and the bottom photo is what they look like now. I wonder if they got the exact same surgeries so that they'd continue looking like twins. Or maybe they went to the same plastic surgeon, who knows. That's the whole point, right? We're looking at these pics and analyzing them. Anyways, alright, so moving on. Moving right along now to number 9 on our list, Yelena Karluzars. Jelena is a Serbian singer with a staggering 2.1 million followers on Instagram. She is the most followed Western Balkan woman on social media, and she's also thought of as both a pop and fashion icon. From her photos, she literally looks like a blonde Kim Kardashian. She's perfect. Almost too perfect. Jelena was exposed by another account, Beauty False, and man, the difference between what she looks like in person and what she looks like in photos is astonishing. She was born in 1978, making her 41 years old. She's definitely not a young woman anymore, so I can understand the need to keep up appearances and remain as young looking as possible forever. The crazy thing is, some celebrities are so big that you're never gonna get close enough to them in person to see what they actually look like. In at number 8, Sweetie Juliana. This has to be one of the most severe cases of face tuning on this list, but honestly there was a lot, so I just threw this one in there. Juliana has 151,000 Instagram followers. Some unedited photos of her surfaced on Yoba Journal. These photos were taken on the exact same day. Do you see how drastic that editing is? It is crazy. Even more crazy, if you were a fan of her and you saw her on the street, you probably would have no idea that it's her. In at 7, the Fashion Freak. The Fashion Freak, aka Melly Sanchez, is a verified influencer with 1.5 million followers on Instagram. And there's videos up on her page as well that show she is genuinely an extremely beautiful woman and a very talented makeup artist. But then, like, why all the editing, bro? She's also someone that's had quite a bit of plastic surgery. Here's a photo that shows just how drastic her looks have changed over the years. And here's a GIF that shows an image taken straight from a Getty Images camera paired with that same image, but edited. Savage, yo. By the way, Getty Images is a database where photographers will take photos at events and anyone can access these photos online. That's why it's possible to get both versions. In at number 6, we got Tana Mongeau. You knew she was gonna be on this list. Tana loves editing her photos. She's been exposed time and time again, and she's been called out for her excessive use of editing apps by Bella Thorne. Now, Tana doesn't do a heck of a lot of Facetune on her face, but she's shown to use it excessively on her body. This photo is the most famous one, the one in the yellow bikini. Oh yeah, I know you know that one. The photo on the left was what she posted to Instagram, and the photo on the right is a screen grab from a video taken on the exact same day, wearing the same yellow bikini that shows her real body. And she doesn't even do that good of a job at hiding the evidence. Her photos are always filled with blurred pixels and wonky lines all over the place. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with having a body that looks like that, but I mean, don't make people feel bad about themselves if you don't have a body like that. Man, I got all the roles coming out. I'm just In at number 5, Juliana Naughty. Juliana is a stylist and influencer with 1 million followers on Instagram. She also holds seminars on how to be Insta famous, and she makes people pay money for that too. From her photos, she looks no more than 30 years old. She often poses in front of iconic European photo destinations like the Eiffel Tower and the Duomo in Milan. But Juliana looks nothing like her photos in real life. Here's some before and afters. Look man, she's still a beautiful woman, but she's a little older. Why she needs to conceal that is beyond me. It's totally okay to get a little bit older. But looking back at her photos on her Instagram account, she just doesn't look real. She looks like a video game character or something, and she actually looks different if you compare her Instagram photos side by side. Her face changes a lot. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for her. In at number 4, we got Sahar Tabar. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know all about Sahar Tabar. She's an Iranian influencer who edits the crap out of her photos to the point where she looks like the corpse bride. Sahar Tabar's editing is so drastic that you can physically see the pixels being moved around and stretched out. Now, it's not just editing. Sahar Tabar's photos are a combination of both editing and makeup. Things like prosthetics, contouring, and colored contact lenses are something that she uses often. But she really looks nothing like her photos in real life. She's actually a very beautiful woman. Sadly, Sahar Tabar's shocking online persona has gotten her in a lot of trouble lately. She lives in Iran and she was arrested on charges of blasphemy, among other things like insulting the country's dress code. It is likely that Sahar Tabar will spend some time in prison over her social media posts. And at number 3, we got James Charles. James Charles is known for his excessive use of editing, but unlike many of the other people on this list, James Charles does not hide the fact that he edits his photos. He shows before and afters very often, and he's even done video tutorials on how to edit your photos with Facetune. But you really get a feel for how drastic his editing is when you look at photos of him edited versus photos of him in person. Check out this selfie. Insane! Here is a GIF of how much he edited his Met Gala photos. Like, he even changed the shape of his head and his hair and his neck. James Charles' whole claim to fame is his makeup abilities, but those abilities are pretty much pointless if you're just using apps to change the shape of your entire face. Honestly, I feel like he looks better without the editing. All that Facetune makes him look like an alien, and not the kind of alien I want to hug. In at number 2, Anastasia Kvitkoru. Anastasia is a Russian glamour model with 10.2 million Instagram followers. She's been exposed time and time again for making herself look absolutely nothing like she does in real life. I've come across this woman before, like so many before and afters of her so many times. In edited photos she looks like a tall Selena Gomez with an absolutely perfect hourglass body. Without editing though, I mean, completely different person, right? That's not to say that it isn't okay to look the way she does in person. Man, I'm not perfect, I got cellulite, I got stretch marks, like it is what it is, but damn yo, her 10.2 million followers are following someone that doesn't actually exist. By the way, pro tip, if you're looking at photos of someone online and they have absolutely no skin texture, that is a really good indication that they edit their photos. Alright, and at number 1 on this list, Elba Presculi. Elba Presculi is an Instagram influencer with around 118,000 followers on the platform. From her photos you never would have guessed that she would be anything other than perfect. She's extremely thin as well. She looks like a Victoria's Secret model. How is it even possible to have a waist that small? Spoiler alert, it's not possible. Well, it is possible with Facetune. Elba Presculi actually had to make her Instagram account private because she was recently exposed by my favorite Instagram account, Celebface. She actually is the person who inspired this list because I have never seen such a drastic use of editing in my life. Elba Presculi on the left is what she looks like on Instagram, and Elba on the right is what she looks like in real life. We know this because she was recently at a red carpet event and there were Getty Images photographers there. Getty Images are accessible by anyone, like I said. Side by side, if you look at those photos, they don't look like the same person, like they just don't. And here's a gift to show just how much she edits the pictures. It is kind of insane because she's actually a very beautiful woman without editing. Why she feels the need to edit her photos to this degree is beyond me. Honestly, no wonder women have body issues, am I right? We all want to be like these tiny Instagram models, but they're not real. I'm gonna go eat a cheeseburger right after this because I'm allowed now. Starting things off at number 10, Danielle Kahn. The only reason why I put her in this list was because y'all said in the comments of part 1 you were surprised she wasn't on it. We all know. I wanted to give you some new info, but okay, Dani Kahn has been called out so many times for her very poor use of editing apps. She doesn't even bother to make sure that the background is straight. And it sucks because her audience is made up of impressionable young girls and boys. Here's a photo of her in a bikini for Fashion Nova. Here's a photo of her on that same day wearing the same bikini but unedited. Now Dani has talked about the fact that she edits her photos. I mean, I feel like she felt like she had to. But making herself into that hourglass shape is not something a 13, 14, 15-year-old girl should be doing. Megan Feather. Megan Feather has 394,000 Instagram followers. She's an influencer and YouTuber from the UK. I mean, listen, from her photos she doesn't look like a real person. She's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't look real. And that's because she's heavily edited. Here are some side-by-sides. I mean, she's not by any means unattractive, but do you see how much of a real person she looks like on the right and how fake the edited photos look? One thing I do appreciate about Meg Feather is she doesn't edit her body that much. She's a curvy woman and that is beautiful. I'm glad she doesn't go overboard on the body tweaking, which is why she's not higher on our list. It is about that time for number 8, Miss Natalie Hallcrow. Natalie Hallcrow has 3.7 million Instagram followers and one of those followers is Ariana Grande. Wow. From her Instagram account, she's got one of the most peculiar and at the same time most stunning faces I've ever seen in my life. Like I can't stop looking at her. And I bet you anything those 3.7 million followers feel the same way. Almost too pretty to be real, right? Right. Bam. 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 Oh shit. Somebody stop me. And Natalie's Instagram account makes her a lot of money. With that many followers, Natalie is charging tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for paid promotional posts. Every other post on her account is a paid promotion. I'll just let that sink in while you do the math. She's obviously still pretty, she just doesn't look like she does in her pictures, that's all. At lucky number 7 on our list, Miriam Rahman. Miriam Rahman is a makeup artist with 528,000 Instagram followers. I actually didn't want to put her on this list because I do find her stunning, even without the Photoshop. She also posts makeup tutorials where you see what her real face looks like, which is why she's not higher on our list. But if you look at photos that were taken by other people that she didn't have control over, without ideal lighting, without all the makeup and the Photoshop and Facetune and FaceApp and whatever the hell she's using, she looks nothing like her photos in real life. In at 6, Nima Benati. Nima is a fashion photographer from Italy with 596,000 Instagram followers. She is a very talented photographer who shot campaigns for Dolce & Gabbana and YSL Beauty. But let's dive into our Instagram versus reality side by sides, eh? I mean, totally different. She is super pretty in person, as you can see from those Getty Images photos. But like, why the Photoshop, bro? I'm genuinely shocked that someone this pretty edits their photos this much, but I mean, she's a fashion photographer who's around supermodels 99% of the time, so if I were in that position, maybe I would feel compelled to compete with them. But even Bella Hadid, the most beautiful woman in the world, scientifically the most beautiful woman in the world, edits her photos. I don't know, man. Halfway there now. At number 5, we got Ellie Brown, aka Brown.L on Instagram. Ellie has 1.1 million followers. She's a reality star who's on season 4 of UK Love Island. Now, Ellie has had a fair bit of work done, that's no secret. She was on Love Island, and if you haven't seen the show, contestants spend a fair bit of time in their bathing suits. Recently, there were some paparazzi photos taken of her on the beach, and like, well, like I hate talking about the altered bodies because there's absolutely nothing wrong with Elle's real body. Guess what, fellas? That's what real women look like. But that's just it. That is her real body. Whatever photos she's putting on Instagram are not who she really is. At number 4 on our list, Elena Omovich. Elena has 1.1 million followers on Instagram. She's yet another Instagram model that does not look like a real life human being. She looks like she was generated by AI. And you know what? Maybe she low-key was. The thing that irks me the most about Elena is like the waist thing. There is no way anyone could have a waist that small. It is not physically possible. Especially not if you ate that cheeseburger, Elena. I had a cheeseburger for lunch, it was delicious, but my pants are tight now. Getting close now at number 3, Zara McDermott. This one is real drastic. Zara McDermott is yet another reality television star with 1.2 million followers on Instagram. If you didn't know, she was on the show Love Island in 2018 and she was on X Factor Celebrity. But yeah. When I'm looking at this girl's Instagram, I feel so bad about myself. Bro, I almost like her body more without the editing. She looks like a woman. Like a real woman. I don't even know how someone who's on TV all the time can think they can get away with editing their photos this much. Like bro, like we're gonna know. We're gonna find out. We gon' know. In at 2, Sonia Miro. Sonia Miro is a Russian makeup artist from Moscow with 422,000 followers on Instagram. She also sells some sort of gold serum. You can get it at a link on her Instagram page. Not really sure what that's for. It's all in Russian. But like the other influencers on our list, Sonia looks absolutely nothing like her photos in real life. I mean, what a difference. I feel like if you really wanted to create a fake persona online, you would have to make sure that there's absolutely no photos of you that exist anywhere else. But what happens if a fan wants to take a photo with you, or if your friend wants to take a photo of you? There will always be 2 versions of you floating around. There's something about someone who uses a lot of Facetune but then also claims to be a makeup artist. Bruh, doesn't using a ton of Facetune kind of defeat the purpose of being a makeup artist? You're more like a Photoshop artist than a makeup artist. Am I right? At number 1 on our list, Kirsten Hancher. Oh, I'm about to ruffle some feathers with this one. Kirsten Hancher is a Canadian YouTuber and influencer with 6 million followers on Instagram. She also has 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube. She is known for her dope outfits and beauty tutorials. Other than that, she's known on Instagram for her absolutely tiny 12-inch waist. Like damn, you could wrap a glow stick necklace around that thing. But I mean, listen, some of us don't have itty bitty waists. Plenty of very fit women who work out every day do not have tiny waists. It's just not achievable unless we physically starve ourselves. But Kirsten, sweetie, I feel like you're going a little far with the Facetune, don't you think? And Kirsten Hancher doesn't only Facetune her body, she goes overboard on her face as well. Here's a no makeup look on her Instagram, and this is what she looks like in a video. I could do an entire video on Kirsten Hancher. There are entire Instagram accounts made to expose her and her Photoshop. But alas, we only have so much time in a video. Alright guys, I am sweating bruh. I feel like you're all looking me up on Instagram, it's like, did this edit her photos? In at 10, Lindsay Palace. Lindsay is a model, actress, and influencer with 9 million followers on Instagram. According to her Instagram bio, she is genetically gifted. Hey! Her words, not mine. Lindsay is beautiful, as are all of the women on this list. But Lindsay is a big fan of the Facetune, my friends. Here's a side-by-side. The photo on the left is from her Instagram page, the photo on the right is from a red carpet event. Now this one isn't as drastic as some of the other influencers on this list. She still resembles herself in the edited images, but you can see how she's using blurring and highlights to change the shape of her face. So it looks like a Barbie doll face. She's still stunning, but not quite the person that we see in Instagram in real life. In at 9, Norvina. Norvina, aka the beautiful Claudia Claudia Sore has 1.6 million followers on Instagram. You may recognize her as the president of Anastasia Beverly Hills. She is one of the most well-known makeup artists in the game. Norvina's photos are perfect. There are literally no imperfections whatsoever. But even Norvina, as beautiful as she is, doesn't look the way she does in the photos she posts on Instagram. Norvina was recently at a red carpet event where the good people of Getty Images were there. As I said in part 1 of this series, Getty Images photographers don't edit their images, but they're often at high profile events. Anyone can access the Getty Images database. The photo on the left is what she looked like on Instagram, and the photo on the right is what she looks like without editing. Like, she's still so stunning either way, but these two photos don't look like the same person. At number 8 on our list, Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day is a singer-songwriter and television personality. She was a breakout star on MTV's Making the Band back in 2005. She's got 139,000 followers on Instagram. From her photos, you would never feel like anything is amiss. Everything normal? Yep. Good? Yep. Nothing amiss. But Aubrey O'Day was recently at a premiere for Marriage Boot Camp, and photos of her from the event show a very different Aubrey from what you see on the gram. Aubrey has gone under the knife, that is no secret, but it's clear from these images that she doesn't look a heck of a lot like she does on Instagram, now does she? In at 7, Miss Andrea G, aka Andrea G. Andrea, the queen of swimwear as she calls herself, has 254,000 followers on Instagram. From her photos, she looks like she's got an absolutely rockin' bod and a lifestyle that most of us would dream of having. I mean, does she ever come off that yacht? I wouldn't. But there's something about Andrea's photos that looks a little too good to be true. Take this one, with the dove. I don't think that bird is real. And you know what else isn't real? Her Instagram photos. In at 6, Celine Santino. Celine is an influencer based in Zurich with 160,000 followers on Instagram. This one is a doozy, yo. You can tell from her pictures that they are edited. She does not look like a real life human being in them. It was also hard for me to find any images that were appropriate to share with you here because her posts are quite saucy. But Celine also posts videos where she looks absolutely nothing like her photos. Like, you can see that she doesn't, so I'm not sure if she cares that people can see a difference. But yeah. Here's a photo of her on Instagram side by side with a screenshot from a video. When I was researching this video, I also found out that Celine looked very different a few years ago. Let's bring up a transformation photo, shall we? Yep, that's definitely different. At number 5, Sahara Ray. Sahara Ray is a model with 1.2 million followers on Instagram, and she's got her own swim line. You probably remember her as being one of Justin Bieber's exes. I'm pretty sure she was the one that was like with the naked photos of Justin Bieber. You remember that in the waterfall thing? Yeah, I think that was her. Anyways, I found some photos of her at a recent appearance at Girl Cult Festival in Los Angeles. She looks totally unrecognizable. She looks absolutely nothing like the person she posts on Insta. Now, I'm pretty sure she had a little bit of work done recently, so I'm not sure if these photos accurately reflect what she looks like now, but when I saw these pictures of her, they reminded me of Elba Prescoli from part 1. Can we make up a pic? I'm sorry, but don't these two women look like the exact same person? Are y'all using the same editing app or what? Cause these are two completely different women. In at 4, Sora Javu Selik on Instagram, but she says her name is Sarah. She's a model with 374,000 followers. There's all kinds of weird wonky things going on in her post. This is what she looks like on Instagram, and this is what she looks like in person. You really get a feel for how much she edits her photos when you look at her edited pics next to a screenshot from a video. I also found some stock images taken of her that show a very different person. Although apparently Neymar, like football star Neymar, doesn't seem to mind. Apparently he sent a private plane for her so she could visit him in Barcelona. I wonder if he was looking at photos of her on Instagram. In at 3, Dirty Hippie. Dirty Hippie, aka Hannah Winifred Tittensor, is a smaller influencer with just over 42,000 followers on Instagram. From recent photos, she looks like a black woman, but if you look at older photos, it becomes clear that Dirty Hippie is actually a white woman. A white woman who clearly likes tanning a lot. And actually she was on one of Barcroft's episodes of people who are addicted to tanning. One of my favorite accounts, Beauty False, recently exposed her. Here are some side-by-side images that show just how much she edits her face. And here's an image that shows just how much she edits her body. The image on the left is taken from her Instagram page. The image on the right is from Barcroft's video. Like, bro, that waist is tiny. I feel like the only people with waists that small are women that are like 5'1". If you've had a waist that tiny, I commend you. I just know for the majority of women, a waist like this is completely unattainable. And clearly it's unattainable naturally for Hannah as well. Not gonna happen. Coming into our number 2 spot on our list, Ola Farhat. Beautiful Ola Farhat has 1 million followers on Instagram. Ola is a fashion blogger based in Dubai and one of the most famous influencers in the Middle East. Her lifestyle is pretty much as bougie as you can get, but because she's got a bougie lifestyle, she goes to a lot of events. Events where there are Getty Images photographers. Here are some side-by-sides. Like, I really want to make sure my viewers know that I'm not calling these women ugly in person. They're still beautiful, they just don't look the way they do in their photos. And number 1 on our list, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe has 100 million followers and she is one of the biggest celebrities and influencers on this list who's been exposed time and time again for her excessive use of Photoshop and editing apps. I mean, she does belong to a family who's known for altering their appearance. When you got people like Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, and Kendall Jenner in your family, I mean, she probably feels the need to keep up with them. But Khloe does go a bit overboard with the editing, and you can see a difference both on TV and in unedited images published by red carpet photographers. Honestly, I feel like if it weren't for the Kardashians, a lot of us wouldn't feel the need to get plastic surgery or edit our photos because we wouldn't be trying to keep up with beauty standards they have set for the rest of the world. Yet the Kardashians are some of the most notorious users of Photoshop, and I mean, we all know about the plastic surgery.